Hello, I'd like to share another junk journal that I just finished. This one is a little different from the others that I've done. This one has a soft cover. It's a lightweight cardboard covered with a printed fabric. There are sort of pinks and blues, roses with some green leaves. And there's machine stitching along the edges, front and back. And I've reinforced the spine area with an additional layer of fabric and added this vintage scalloped trim and added just a little touch of stickles for sparkle. I'm not a real sparkle person myself, so I try to be a little light-handed with that, but I thought it added a pretty accent. And I've added this printed image that says beautiful, and it's layered with some lace, and the journal is tied with some hand-dyed sari silk. And we'll take this off and take a look inside. There's that printed floral on the inside and the machine stitching along the edges. This page has some Luna moths that I photographed and used Adobe Photoshop to create a printed page for that, and an altered paper clip. And this slips over the top. It's just layered paper print inside, plenty of journaling space. This is one of my photographs, a trio of birdhouses that was part of a garden tour that I did several years ago, but I like to include my own photos when I can. This pocket is made from layers of paper, machine stitched at the bottom. This is a photo taken at Phipps Conservatory in Pittsburgh, overlaid on an old book page. You can journal on the back. The machine stitching continues up the edge. Lots of space for journaling. Some washi tape. And this little pocket is layers of paper ephemera. And this tag has some stamping on it. A little piece of sari silk at the top. Space for journaling on the back. Stamped butterflies, some more detail work, the machine stitching on the inside edge, is layers of paper and a printed image, and a little piece of vintage lace machine stitched on. A pocket on this page, another journaling spot. This is another one of my printed photos. I like the blue stamping on the inside here and the birds on coffee stained paper. And this is a flip up. This is a vintage handkerchief with some layers up here, machine stitched. Another one of my photos and another altered paper clip. Some stamping on it. And across the page, it's holding this folded double card with coffee stained paper inside. A tuck spot here, layers of book page and printed paper, a silk flower, some lace, stamping down the inside edge. Fussy cut this moth and layered it with some printed papers, machine stitched. Room for journaling on the back. Washi tape, and I liked just a touch of this black sheer ribbon with a little bit of glitter just to pretty up the page a little. And this is another altered paper clip, and it's holding some coffee dyed printed paper that folds out, has a dimensional on this side, and this was just folded over the edge. This paper I found in a secondhand store. This was actually shelf liner paper that had just a hint of lavender scent to it when I bought it. I'm not sure that it does now, but I created a pocket with 2 pages, and on this side a sticker and some layered paper. This was a recycled greeting card that came with a matching envelope, so I cut the card down. I liked the sentiment here. Plenty of space for writing on the back. Some more coffee dyed paper. Another altered paper clip that's holding a pocket that was made from papers overlaid. A little bit of stamping that says hope. And you can insert some paper, ephemera, or a secret letter or note inside. Maybe a photograph. Layered paper. Stamping. A printed paper bag. Inside, a mini book where you can hide some more of your journaling. A little bit of stamping detail on the inside. And this page, a little pocket, a piece of vellum that was printed with a bird and flower design and machine stitched, and some coffee dyed papers. Makes a nice little journaling spot to tuck into that pocket. Butterflies, some stamping, machine stitching. This is a vintage greeting card that I attached to make a pocket and added the sentiment. Originally here was, I think, happy birthday, but I stamped hope happens, and I don't think anything symbolizes hope more than spring and the coming of bees and flowers and butterflies. So there's a tag with bees. This page, a little pocket here, fussy cut, some printed paper, journaling spot, some vellum. Beauty is everywhere, a stamp. Upcycled greeting card here to make a pocket. This is one of my photos of a butterfly, and I added an eyelet and a little bit of ribbon at the top for a pull. Little stamping detail. Butterflies I added to the inside of the signature. Added a flip up pocket here, you can write inside. Pop up butterfly and some lace. Another card, I've added a happiness sentiment. Coffee dyed paper in the back. More stamping. The other side of the vellum. I like this pocket. It's layers of paper, and I particularly like the colors in this and the script writing over it. And I've continued the butterfly and flower theme. This is a piece of vintage greeting card layered on paper. You can write on the back, some machine stitching. This image came from a little book on butterflies, has a quotation by Ralph Waldo Emerson, "Happy is the house that shelters a friend," and some stitched lace on the bottom. A little bit of vintage lace, machine stitched to the edge of this page, just some paper added for detail. Some stamping here along this printed image. This is the second part of the paper bag. I think there are two tags here. This is a vintage greeting card that's stitched to coffee dyed paper. And this again was a greeting card that had a name printed, someone's name, and I changed that out with stamping of a sentiment there. Inked the edges and machine stitched. Coffee stained paper again, another paper clip. This page flips out, and over this page was an envelope, and this was actually a vintage envelope. I didn't have to coffee stain this one. I came across a box of these and I snatched them up. I did some stamping lightly in the background, added some vintage music paper and a vellum image, and I thought that looked good in this journal. Some more coffee stained paper, pocket. Love this little lavender and white colored trim. Added machine stitch to the edges in this pocket. This is a tag that I made from a book. I found a damaged book in a secondhand store, and the book was about painting flowers in oil paints. And I loved the images, so I salvaged what I could and machine stitched that one. Added a little bit of ruffle of some satin ribbon. You can definitely write on the back if you want. And another upcycled greeting card, lots of space to write. And if you flip this over, It is a pocket, like the other side of this lavender paper. Another greeting card that came with its matching envelope. The greeting card, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. I stamped and cut out and inked. Plenty of space for writing on the back. A little dimensional added to this printed page. This is a bird that I photographed last year. This bird spent a couple days trying to get in my front door, and I managed to get a couple cute pictures of him. I try to throw that in my journals when I can. This is coffee dye paper that I folded into a pocket and added a little bit of this sheer fabric trim piece of paper that I folded and machine stitched to make a pocket. You can add a piece of paper ephemera or a snapshot, some writing there, and this pretty paper makes a pretty journaling spot, stamping up the inside edge. This is a die cut butterfly. I've layered some paper, machine stitching on the inside edge to make a pocket, and this folds out, some old school line paper made into a little booklet there that can be journaled on. A stenciled butterfly here. Machine stitching runs along the inside edge, if you can see that. Some stamping. Machine stitch some more of that vintage trim down that edge. Washi tape inside here. Some more machine stitching. And a pocket here. Layers of paper. Zigzag stitch. Couple of tags, stamping, and that's the journal. I enjoyed working on this journal, and if you get a chance, take a look at my Etsy shop. It's Llewellyn Arts, and thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.